Can anyone tell me what that shit is? Like, honestly. What the fuck is that? Shit is getting real. Like, are you seeing this shit right now? Hey guys, I'm back. I'm doing another video today. I made one like a few hours ago. I'm back trying to make another one for you guys. So, you may have seen that last clip. I saw that when I was here. That shit, those lights up in the sky. I recorded that when I was here in my old neighborhood in this place. Like 3, 4, 5 days ago, but I just ain't coming around to making a video about it. That's just how little I care. I mean, if it were 2 years ago, I would have uploaded a video right away. Oh my gosh, UFOs in the sky and shit. But this shit is normal now. Some of y'all don't believe me. Shit, some of y'all are probably gonna see that clip and be like, oh, the fucking bat signal or some shit. The fuck out of here, no bat signal. You saw the way those lights were running. They were like car lights in fog. There's no way there ain't no damn bat signal shining. Nobody's shining no lights up in the clouds or anything. You could see that shit spinning. That shit was real. I cannot even... I mean, I can't believe it because I've been preaching this shit for a long time and I believed in this shit for like more than almost 3 years now. This shit is real. This shit is happening. Hold on. Oh, shit. Nah, we're good. Just, y'all... I really don't know what I wanted to talk about in this video. But I know I'll come up with something. Just go with the flow. Just tell the truth. That's actually, yeah, that's what you all... That's actually... Oh my gosh, I just gave myself an idea. That's actually... Going with the flow of things. I know some of y'all, like, this is something that... This is really important for y'all need to hear. Going with the flow. Going with the... I cannot preach that enough. Go with the flow with things. If you're having bad thoughts in your head, you just go with the flow with them. Just don't be affected by them. Don't be scared of like the thoughts in your head. You just dodge them, motherfuckers. If you can avoid all the bad thoughts in your head, all those negative like things telling you, oh, you're not good enough, all those bad voices, you become like, that makes you 10 times stronger. And when you're stronger, you're more powerful. Mentally, physically. When you don't question those annoying voices in your head telling you that you're not good enough, then, like, this is how fucked up we are. Like, think of it this way. Why do we have voices in our head telling us we're not good enough? What in your right mind? Like, even for me, and I'm talking about myself here. I'm like talking to myself right now. What in my right mind made me have voices in my head telling me I'm not good enough? How fucked up is that? Who says I'm not good enough? I got the dog out here. That's just how messed up we all are. We all think that we're not good enough. Y'all don't have any confidence in yourselves. Y'all aren't happy in yourselves. That's not a good thing. One of the things I found to get confidence was having respect for myself. Being happy. And when you're happy, when you truly love yourself, when you're happy just looking at yourself in the mirror, looking at yourself in general, you look down at yourself, you just feel nothing but happy. That's when you truly gain confidence in yourself. When you don't hate yourself. Even mentally. If you're doing bad things, if you're dropping bodies, if you're watching porn, you're doing all that, that's not going to make you love yourself because you're disrespecting yourself. I know some of y'all, like, don't even lie to me. Some of y'all are watching porn. And then after you finish, you're like, what the fuck? And I'm talking, I don't know how it works for girls. If there's any girls watching this, like, there's nothing I can really, like, say about that because I'm not familiar with that. I'm only familiar with me. But I know some of y'all, even if some of y'all weren't awake, like, you cannot lie to me. Like, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, when you were all jacking off, you had to, like, at least feel like it was not natural, even the slightest. Don't lie. Don't even lie to me. Remember the first time you started jacking off. And just remember, like, I know I do. I remember how unnatural that shit felt. Sitting there forcing yourself to bust one. Honestly, I thought I uncovered a hack to, like, sex or something like that. I thought I was the only person in the world doing that shit because I'm like, oh my gosh, I found out how to bust one without just having sex. But nah. I know I'm going into too much detail, but I'm telling the truth out here. That's all I'm giving y'all, the truth. Like, that shit is not normal. Like, it's a very hard thing to, like, overpass and stop doing completely. I just recommend, like, if you're having troubles stopping that shit, just, like, take it one step at a time. If you're somebody that does it twice a day, do it once a day. If you're somebody that does it 5 times a week, do it twice a week. And then eventually you go once a week, once a month, once every 2 weeks, and then you're done. You realize, oh my gosh, I haven't touched myself in 9 months. Oh my gosh. Without even, like, thinking about it. So believe me, I know you all are going through YouTube, like, best no fab semen retention strategy. That is the best one. And don't feel guilty when you bust. That's probably one of the, like, if you fuck up, like, do not feel guilty about it. Like, I gotta be honest, I'm still guilty about it. I mean, whenever I do that shit, I still feel guilty about it. Because I don't want to, but at the same time, you do want to. That's the weird thing. Is that you don't want to, but you do want to. It feels like you're under control, but, like, realize that it's you that chose to do that. Don't convince yourself. Like, this is one of the worst things I did. I used to tell myself, oh, there was a shadow in my mind making me do that shit. Oh, it was the voices in my head. No, it was just me. Those voices in my head, they can't do shit. They don't have any power. Just ignore them. And trust me, retaining feels way better than busting. I'm gonna be honest. When you sit there, like, I've realized recently that nobody really likes to, like, fail when they're on, like, retention. Most people just want the feeling of it. And that's, like, one of the worst things. Like, if you're somebody that you like to edge, like, you like to sit there and then do it and then not climax, I mean, that's, like, just as bad. Because you're only getting half of the benefits. Like, if you're still sitting there watching porn, you're gonna, like, have that creepy look in your eyes. Like, people can smell that on you. It doesn't matter. Even children could probably see that shit on you. Like, oh, there's something off about him. He's done some shady shit. You don't believe me? I know this shit. I've seen this shit. I've been on this shit since fucking October, of 2020, I was on this shit. And I'm still, like, I'm rising, falling. So believe me, I have enough experience to talk about this shit. I've seen how people treat you. I've seen how people get treated when they're off and on this shit. It's crazy. I know y'all want to hear about some female trash. I know y'all want to hear that shit. Let me tell you, I went from nobody looking at me, 2019, 2018, me being unconfident, having no respect for myself, to like 2020, I had the elderly ladies staring at me in grocery stores. I'm like, damn. And I'm not like, I don't even know. I gotta admit something. That was the original reason I went on this shit back in 2020. Like, that was the original reason I was on this shit. And then it started to progress. Just no. It started to just progress. Like, from 2020, 2021, I was like, why am I doing this for, like, anybody? I should be doing this for myself. I started to realize all the real benefits. Clear mind. You know when you're a kid and you have your nostalgia years? You ever just, like, look back on, like, a certain year or a certain time in your life when it was just, oh my gosh, it was the happiest time of your fucking life? And I realized, like, look back when you were a kid. Like, you're happier when you're a kid than you are when you're, like, in middle school or a teenager. And I realized, like, all this bad shit, like, porn, jacking off, that is fueling your depression. That is why you wake up every day and feel like shit. For no reason. There's, there's nothing wrong with your life. You're living a good life. But, like, you feel like shit. Like, think of it this way. You when you're, like, you know when you're in elementary school and you go on summer vacation and it's just, like, the best thing ever. And then when you're, like, in high school and middle school and you go on summer vacation, it's just, like, depressing and sad. The whole atmosphere, your whole vibe changes. And you can feel that shit. That's how when I realized that, that's how I automatically knew, I gotta stop doing this bad shit. This shit is fucking me up horribly. This shit has made it's unnatural. And before any of y'all come into this chat and say, oh, it's not fucking natural. You shouldn't be jacking off. No one should be, even if you're a female, you shouldn't be doing that shit. It's probably, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some kind of expert on females, but if it's bad for men, it's probably worse for females. Let's just be honest with that. Like, social media is telling, like, girls, they got to look a specific way, they got to act a specific way. And if, like, men don't really have those problems. We're not told that we got to act a certain way and you got to look a certain way. I mean, we're told some things that you got to act certain ways, but, like, not as bad as women. Like as girls, like, you got to act plastic. Like, you got to act like a doll. Like, you got to look a certain way. And, like, men, like, if they don't look a certain way, they just don't give a shit. That's why you got these people wearing, like, ripped shoes and ripped, like, all shit. Like, maybe some people, like do, like, how do I explain it? I know people that they just go around school, they wear the most raggedy ass shit. Not because they can't afford it, but just because they just choose to. They don't give a fuck. People go to school in pajamas. And they just don't give a shit. Even if they're not confident, they just don't give a shit in their fit. That dog messing up my video. When people, they just don't pause. Oh my gosh. When people don't give a shit in their fit, it doesn't necessarily mean they're confident, though. But even for, like, women, like, imagine, like, how, like it affects man's confidence when they jack off, though. And it probably affects women's confidence when they jack off, though. Worse. All I can tell y'all is just stay sane. Try to focus on yourself mentally, physically. I'm not saying that you have to, like, There's another trap that I noticed with this whole self-improvement community. Hold on one second. I didn't even let the dog outside. He just followed me, and I tried to close the door, keeping him inside the house. Go, go, go. Come on, go. So the self-improvement community, oh my gosh, man. I can talk about this for hours at a time. So, when you're in the self-improvement community versus just being spiritual, they tell you some good things, but they also tell you some bad things. Like, oh, you need to be toxic. You need to treat people like shit. You need to become more alpha, more red pill on game, spit game and shit like that. When that's really the most low vibrational thing that you can do. Oh shit, fucking mosquitoes. Like, some of that stuff that they tell you, like, this is how bad they got it. Like, think of it this way. Like, back in 2021, when everybody was starting to become all spiritual, they couldn't have any of that stuff. So they needed to let, like, self-improvement gurus, all these people, like, and you know the people that I'm talking about. You know those people. The people that tell you, oh, you need to drink sparkling water. I know y'all know who I'm referring to when I say that. I got no beef with him. I used to look up to his videos, and some of the stuff that he says is true, but still, there's nothing, like, spiritually that can enlighten you just by listening to that content. If you want to learn how to be superior and be above the matrix, I mean, yeah, but you're not really above the matrix in any way. You're just going along with it. You're just more on the eviler side when you take that half. That's how they got everything reversed. They try to take self-improvement. They try to, like, they still turn it into degeneracy. They say you got to go to clubs, you got to drink, you got to do crazy stuff, and they try to fit some of the good stuff in. Like, oh yeah, you got to hit the gym, you've got to do this, which there's nothing wrong with that, but, like, that's just how bad they've got it. They don't mention anything about meditating, nothing. How many spiritual, like, YouTubers do you see that that, like, talk about, like, oh, game and all that stuff? And how many of those, like, fitness YouTubers, like, tell you to, like, meditate, go within, have respect for your mental health? I mean, there are probably some, but, like, those are, like, the real ones right there. But how many people are going to do that? Tell you to go above everything that they're throwing at us? They throw a lot of traps in. And even in the video that I made earlier today talking about school. School is also like a trap to turn you evil. Because they see you enlightening yourself. If they can't keep you. Like, if they can't keep you in their system, they want to turn you evil. So that you punish those. That's one of the worst things ever. Because at least back in summer 2021, they could literally go out and, like, full out kill your ass. But now they're just trying to suppress, like, all the spiritual content. But now they're just trying to turn you evil within your own community. That's what I tell y'all. You need to be careful who you're listening to. If someone, here's how you know that a spiritual content creator isn't, like, they aren't there anymore to, like, spread real knowledge. When you listen to them and you just don't click with them the same, they're talking about completely different shit from what they were talking about previously. Like, let's say you're watching a spiritual YouTube video and he's telling you to meditate, go on semen retention, and then you watch another spiritual YouTuber and then they're telling you to jack off, and the same. What am I even talking about? I'm losing my mind here. You're watching the same spiritual YouTuber and they're telling you to jack off and bust all day. just a few months later in the newer video, like that's a sign that either they were like kidnapped and cloned, or like something happened, or they're falling to the dark side. Like, who knows? It's not even the dark side. It's like, I know they say there's like the dark side and there's the light side, but there's really none of that. They just want to keep you low. And you know, like, think of it this way. I know some of y'all, like, here's how you know that you're, like, turning bad or you're falling to the dark side. If you want to do general bad things. Like, if you're somebody that you were listening to spiritual content, you were uplifting, you were meditating, you were going on retention, and then you want to carry a strap and kill people and do drugs all of a sudden, that's how you know you're falling to the dark side. And that's something y'all need to be careful for. But usually when y'all start like, there isn't really like, there's warning signs, but like, you all know when you're going to the dark side. I don't need to tell y'all, like, 5 signs to find out how you're falling back into, like, evil or falling back in frequency. Like, y'all know. What the hell? What the fuck? My video just stopped recording. I didn't even turn off the camera. Yeah. So that shit happened. I saw a fucking light pass by, and it looked like somebody was walking. So I'm in a backyard right now, and there's a gate over there, and I see a light, and it looked like a motherfucker was walking past here with like a fucking flashlight, trying to like look and see like what was all that sound or some shit. I don't know. It just looked like somebody was over here with a flashlight. And then as soon as I get up and run back, the video just stops for no reason. So that shit happened. Some bullshit. Maybe it was the elites. Maybe it was like, they're being very sneaky now. Like, you know when you play a video game, you're playing like, and there's like the NPCs and all the cities and all the buildings and all that shit in like your video game that you're playing. And you know when you're a kid and you play that shit, and you know it's not real, you know it's a video game, but you play it and it feels real. You know, there are people, there's the cars, there's the buildings, and then you look into it a little more, and then you find out that they're all coded NPCs. They're all designed in a specific way to say certain things, to move a certain way. The buildings are designed to be a certain way, certain textures and certain catalogs and numbers and all that shit. That's how it feels like, right? And they're supposed to like hide all the textures and all the glitches, and like if it's like an empty building in a video game, it's like all filled in or all white or all uncolored in texture. That's what they're doing right now, man. And that shit is starting to break down. All the things that were happening in the Matrix, like we can all start to see like all the coding and everything breaking down, just like that movie. Like, people can tell like when shit's like not normal because it never happened before. Like, there's a veil shattering and it becomes more obvious every time y'all go outside, y'all go within. I'm telling y'all, these motherfuckers are evil, pure evil. But you have to think about it. And there's the questions, like, even like us, even the ones going within, even the ones trying to wake up, we don't know. Why are they here? Why do they want us? Why are we here? And then there's nothing wrong for questioning anything. Like, some of y'all believe, oh yeah, you're not supposed to question. You're not supposed to question anything. I'm like, what's wrong with questioning anything? Asking questions has never been bad. It's just curiosity. But like, a lot of y'all like to ask that question. Like, why are we here? What do we do? And that's the question I've been realizing recently. That's how I realized that, like, nothing really matters. Like, everything is infinite. Everything is possible. There isn't a single thing that's impossible. And when I realized that, it made me think that really nothing really... Yeah, we're honored to be here. I always say, yeah, respect your life, love your life. But there's really, like... What is our reason? Why do we exist? What's the purpose of anything? You know? It's still kind of sad. I still talk to people every day. And let me clear things up real quick. I'm not bashing anybody. Like, I'm not bashing anybody for going to work. I'm not like, people need to like feed their families. But like, there are still people out there, like people that are like 20 years old. They don't have any kids. They don't care about anything. But yet they still work and they justify it. Even like 50-year-old people that don't have any like kids, the kids moved out. They're like, they still justify why they need to work. They're like, oh, I need to pay my mortgage. We're like, okay, what are you gonna do after you pay your mortgage? Oh, People don't even know what they're gonna do after they do all that stuff. People wander mindlessly in the first direction that they see, and they don't think of the bigger picture. Like, people don't think, why am I doing anything that I do? Like, what's the reason? Especially if you're like 20 years old and you don't like have any kids yet. Like you're like, imagine like how life must feel to you. Like, you're born into the world out of thin air. You're probably, I mean, you're the most enlightened when you're a child, but like when you grow up, when you like reach around 5 years old, you start to get programmed, you start to like talk and know English. But think of it like this. Think of your entire life. Like, you just come out of nowhere into existence. They tell you, you got to go to school. You're like, what's school? It's a place where you learn. Oh, okay. You don't even question. Okay, it's a place where I learn. You go to school for 10 years. You graduate. You're like, okay, what's next? You got to work. You're like, okay. You didn't even question it. What am I working for? Why do I gotta work? They're like, for money. You're like, okay. Like, why do I need money? So you can buy Rolexes and houses. You're like, okay. You don't even question anything of that. You know, like, why do I need to go to school? Why do I need to work for 40 years? What's the purpose of it? Why do I need to buy a Rolex or a house? Why do I need it? Nobody questions that. Everybody says, oh yeah, you need that to become successful. And you're like, oh yeah. Successful in what? Look at all these old people. These like old people, look at your grandparents. Not even maybe your grandparents, but who knows? You think like they worked for their whole life. And then your grandparents are probably old. I mean, of course they're old, they're your grandparents, but they're probably sitting around all day doing nothing. Some of them are probably even still working. And they don't question any of it. They're like, what do I do? What is the whole purpose of anything? And it's honestly one of the saddest things ever. It's really sad. It's even sadder to see a young person just being programmed right in front of you that they're told that they're supposed to mindlessly wander in the direction that everybody guides them towards. That's how you know that this is a system. A very evil and cruel system. And if you see things the way I see them, then it's kind of different. It works like a different way. Oh my gosh, there's a helicopter above my head. Look at that shit. Right above my head. I'm not even joking. I'm sitting right in this chair, and it flies exactly right above my head. I'm being watched right now. That never fucking happens. For y'all to talk about, oh, it's a helicopter flying above your head. Who gives a shit? That never happens. You think you're just like sitting somewhere and then a helicopter's randomly just gonna like fly right above your head in your backyard? It's literally 2 o'clock in the fucking morning right now. Yup. I'm hearing footsteps over there. They're watching me. They're literally watching me. They're literally fucking watching me right now. I'm literally hearing footsteps over there. You know what's weird? I just noticed this. I don't know if the camera's gonna fucking pick this shit up. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. But yet, look at that shit. It's not dark outside. It looks like it's like early in the morning. The sun is, I think it's gonna get to a point where the sun is, this is like all time of year. Like, you know when you go outside and at night and they say, oh, it's dark. It's dark out. It's not dark. I don't know if y'all can see any of that shit. It's probably even better, like, for me to see this shit. Like, I don't even know if the camera picks this shit up. Dick. It's beautiful out here. The sky is literally glowing. The crickets are chirping. This is amazing. Even if it's night and the sun isn't out, I don't think nothing better than this. I can literally see the stars. I can literally see one moving up in the sky. And you know what's the crazy thing? It feels like a firmament. A long time ago, I saw this show. I consider it a pretty woke show. Because it talks about the universe, it talks about all this crazy shit. And there was an episode, and they talked about the stars going out. Like, if you went outside like 50 years ago, you would see thousands of stars up in the sky, so many to count. And I'm literally seeing like 20, 30. Like, there's really not that many. I could probably count all those motherfuckers with my hand. But it's beautiful, though. The more I see it, the more I just want to go up there. And we all will. The last days that they were talking about are very... I know a lot of people like to say, oh, like the whole 2012 thing, oh, the last day of Earth. All that shit. But, really... we have to focus, like, the world, like, nothing's, like, the world isn't gonna end right now. The whole world isn't gonna start burning randomly. But we have to focus on, like, causing our own chaos. Our own constructed, that's all life is. It's controlled chaos. Trying to make sense of everything. And that's what we gotta do. I literally feel like somebody's listening to me. That's what we gotta do. We gotta focus on tackling the elites. Maybe we can even help them. That's one thing I thought of. Like, I know they're bad and all, but like, all they want is a home. All they want is something to control. The universe is so infinite that maybe we could give them that. In fact, we could. Not even maybe. We literally can. In fact, this is like how deep this shit goes. Maybe they were controlling another universe. And then maybe they just come over here. Maybe this is the one that they were given. So maybe it's just an endless cycle. We give the elites a different universe, and then they gotta get free. And then once they free, I literally just saw a shooting star. Oh my gosh, that shit was gorgeous. I know they say that the stars are like 1,000 suns, but like we don't even... like, we really don't know what the stars are. Think about it like that. Like, for all we know, like, I know they're talking about this a lot in, like, the movies and, like, multiverses and all shit like that. But, like, that shit could be generally, like, in fact, it is real. Like, all those stars that they like to say are suns could just be, like, other universes. I'm not even joking. There could be another version of you on, like, that star over there. I don't even know if y'all can see that shit, but I'm literally, like, go outside at night. Look at the first star you see. That shit could literally have, like, other versions of you. And that could be an entire solar system with, like, aliens, grays, all that shit. I'm seeing some crazy shit out here. Hold on. Minor intermission. Holy shit. They're literally doing whatever they can to, like, stop this war. I thought I heard a motherfucker walking in the backyard, and then I look and then I see a fucking... I don't even know if y'all can see this shit. There's literally a swing set right here moving. Y'all cannot see that shit. It is dark as fuck. That shit is weird, though. Fuck. I keep stopping this video. That shit's starting to piss me off. I actually did that this time. I accidentally stopped it. But now that I think about it, I think there's just like crazy shit going on in the world right now. I just thought about it. So we have stars in the sky, and if those could be like other universes, and think of it this way, we call them shit shooting stars. And those shit, like, they fly across the sky and they get destroyed. Like, those could be entire universes literally corrupting. Like, the Great Awakening could be happening on, like, every star that we see. Like, I just saw a shooting star just now. That shit was beautiful, but now that I think about it, like, it could be another universe. It could literally be a whole ass planet getting destroyed. Like a whole solar system, like trillions of people, like... I'm hearing fucking footsteps over there. That shit is fucking weird. Whole entire solar system is literally getting destroyed. I just wanted to rant in this video. I gotta admit, this was like no crazy video. I mean, this was a crazy ass video, but like I just wanted to just talk about like the stuff going on. Don't think this video is over yet. I'm probably not gonna upload. I'm probably gonna like either make a part 2 or just like not upload this video and just like add another half to it. This is like 2 hours long. I don't even know yet if I should just like say goodbye to y'all or just like say that I'm back in an hour. I'll see y'all, maybe. That's all I'll say.